Have you ever found yourself standing at the edge of a completely unlit room and you feel this irrational hesitation before stepping inside? Well, welcome to today's explainer. I want you to imagine we're in a college biology hall right now, but we're going to turn the lights way, way down. We're going to explore the neurobiology and the primal architecture of a fear that lives inside almost every single one of us. So lower your room lights, turn up your volume, and let's examine exactly why the shadows hold such absolute power over the human mind.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to really put yourself in this scenario. Imagine you're walking alone down a completely pitch black hallway. You're entirely separated from the familiar, safe comforts of your daily life. The visual world, the one you completely rely on to navigate, to feel secure, to literally understand your surroundings, it's been completely stripped away. Every single step you take is a blind leap into a void. You are experiencing total sensory deprivation in your primary method of gathering spatial data.
The darkness is so absolute, so suffocating, that you reach out and you can't even see your own hand right in front of your face. Just think about the severe claustrophobia of that moment. Your visual cortex is literally starved of input. It's desperately scanning the environment for shapes, for boundaries, for absolutely any faint photons of light. And it's finding nothing. You're physically intact, but visually erased. And this severe deprivation forces your brain's fear center, the amygdala, into a state of extreme psychological anticipation. Because your brain inherently knows that just because you can't see your environment, that doesn't mean your environment is actually empty. So, the crucial point is, how does your biology instantly respond to this unseen environment? Let's look at this from a clinical perspective. Suddenly, step 1, your heart rate spikes. This is the rapid activation of your sympathetic nervous system. It's flooding your bloodstream with cortisol alongside a massive adrenaline surge, pumping oxygen-rich blood rapidly right to your extremities. Then, step 2, your muscles tense up. This is the acute stress response in action. You're unconsciously coiling like a spring, physically executing the mechanics of the fight-or-flight reflex. And step 3, because your vision is completely compromised, you experience hyperreactivity to tiny noises. A subtle creak in the floorboards suddenly registers as a massive, immediate threat. Your body is biologically compensating for that total loss of sight by cranking the sensitivity of your auditory processing to its absolute maximum limit. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the profound psychological distinction at play here. You aren't actually afraid of the simple physical absence of photons. A lack of light cannot hurt you. Your terror is entirely focused on the other side of this equation. What might be hiding inside that absence of light? You see, your brain is a highly evolved pattern recognition machine. When it gets starved of visual data, it triggers a medical phenomenon known as hyperactive agency detection. That's essentially the human brain's powerful tendency to project potential threats and hidden predators right into ambiguous empty spaces. So you aren't reacting to the dark itself. You're reacting to the terrifying, invisible possibilities concealed within it. And this brilliantly illustrates our clinical definition for today's lecture, Nyctophobia. Now, severe, paralyzing cases of this are classified medically as a specific phobia. The baseline response? That's actually a primal fear deeply hardwired into the DNA of every single human being. This isn't just some modern anxiety born from, horror movies or childhood ghost stories. No, this is a fundamental biological reflex. It's a highly efficient physiological response baked directly into your genetic code. Those tense muscles, your racing heart, that intense hyper-awareness, these are literally the ancient blueprints of your nervous system doing exactly what they were designed to do to keep you alive when the sun goes down. Because this biological alarm system didn't just appear overnight. It was forged and refined over millions of years of human survival. Think about early human history. Back then, the night was genuinely perilous. Our ancient ancestors didn't have floodlights or security systems or locked doors. When darkness fell, they were actively hunted by nocturnal apex predators. We're talking ancient big cats, cave bears, packs of giant hyenas, predators whose eyes were perfectly adapted to the pitch black. The early humans who experienced that massive adrenaline surge, who tensed their muscles and who startled at every snapping twig, they were the ones who actually survived the night. And they survived to pass those hypervigilant genes down through millions of years, directly to you. So your fear of the dark is, quite literally, a massive evolutionary success story.
Which brings us to the ultimate question. Why does turning off the lights transform us from brave, rational adults into terrified toddlers? Well, because in the absolute dark, our modern logic completely gives way to ancient biology. We shed our sophisticated, present-day mindset and instantly revert to our most ancestral survival instincts.
So the next time you find yourself reaching just a little too quickly for that light switch, remember, you aren't being childish at all. You're simply listening to millions of years of survival instincts echoing in your DNA, warning you of whatever might be waiting in the shadows. Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to ponder. If the dark effortlessly triggers a survival response that is millions of years old, what other ancient primal instincts are secretly pulling the strings in your modern life?